It's Sunday, July 16th, 2023, and I have 27 days until the New Hope Concours in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, where I hope to enter Project Risky Business, my $4,000 1985 Porsche 928 barn find. At this point, I had hoped to show you my removal of the rear bumper. However, nearly a day's worth of effort and the bumper is still attached. Every mounting screw, and I mean every one, has been a fight. So that'll come up in a future video. So I needed to make progress on the car today. And just for my motivation, I needed to do a project I know I could get done in a day and tape it and post it on the channel. That was the hood insulation. If you've watched my videos in the past, you've seen that a combination of 40 years and mice living in the car when it was in a pole barn in Colorado Springs. Mice actually chewed at it or probably used it for bedding. The worst part about the hood mat was the fact that anytime you open the hood, it had degraded so much, it was like you'd see fine sand particles come off of it, and it would just lay on top of the engine. That's not good either from aesthetics or, God forbid, those get into the engine. So I wanted to replace it. I thought this was going to be a much harder project than it was. You watch other videos online about this, and people take the hood off. They've got it flipped over. They're scraping things. I took a different path and spent a little bit more money, but it was worth it. I bought an OEM Porsche replacement pad from Roger at 928s R Us. And his recommendation is you just scrape off the old foam, leave the original adhesive as a primer, if you will. And it's a much easier job that does not require the hood approval. It's $94 currently, and compared to the other ones that are maybe $70 or $80. Now, I had been putting off this project for quite some time. I've had the hood pad actually in-house since the fall. And I thought it was going to just take a lot longer. And I did a little testing and found that the old foam was coming off quite easily with a scrape. In this video, I'm taking you through how to replace the main hood panel insulation on a Porsche 928S. The main larger panel is, my understanding, is the same for all years of the car. The material might be slightly different. Now, I believe on the earlier models, the upper part of the hood also had a separate one. My car, I think after 79 or 80, don't quote me on that, Porsche did not put another separate piece on. Instead, the emissions label is in that location. The first step was I took 2 contractor-sized bags and laid them out on the hood. This was going to collect all of the dust and the major pieces of it without it falling into the engine. Now, here I am scraping away with a putty knife, and you can see how easily it really came off. I was quite surprised. And this made very quick work of the removal process. That yellowish piece is the original backing that Roger at 928s R Us recommends you leave on. And unfortunately, as I say that, you see some of it had lost its adherence, and I'll talk about that in a bit. I finally decided with all the dust that an N95 mask was in order for this. You can't see the fine particles. And unfortunately, in 2 spots, the original backer did come loose. So I scraped it as far as I could where the adherence was still very good. And that backing is so thin that I wasn't worried about even having those there. between the texture of the waffle foam and the thinness of this original adhesive coating, I didn't think it would show through once I put this in. And that you'll see it turned out to be the case. All right, so next I decided to remove my light and carefully pull the contractor bags off. And now with my shop vac, I'm going through and just cleaning all the residual dust and pieces that I had loosened up, and just went completely around this a number of times until I felt it was clean enough. There you see, I'm wiping it down with some tub of towel cloths. I'm wiping the edge between the hood and the top of the hood. And here I am fitting, press fitting. Now, there is you can, if you look at these pads and the cutout for this, the radius at the top towards the front of the hood, the radiuses are much smaller. The radius is half that of the bottom ones. So this is a one-way piece. So make sure when you go to do this that you have it oriented correctly. And this is an OEM Porsche piece that Roger at 928s R Us sells. It does have an adhesive back to it. So what to do about these holes there that are basically gray primer, the underside of the hood? I could spend hours taking that backing off, but based on Roger's recommendation, I decided to leave the vast majority of it on. And so that meant I was going to put spray adhesive on. In this shot, I'm putting a piece of corrugated box, and now I'm spraying my 3M super adhesive on all over it, particularly in those pieces that the original backing came off. I found that the adhesive on this Porsche part seemed to be light, so I wanted to make sure it's okay. Having a little bit more bond. Now, after letting the 3M adhesive tack up for about 5 minutes, normally when you're using trim adhesive, you spray both pieces. But since the foam backing already has adhesive on it, I didn't feel I needed to do that. I hope that doesn't bite me sometime down the road, but for now, we're okay. Per the instructions Roger provides, so I just pulled back a few inches of it and then carefully put it into place, trying to center it. I had to adjust it a little bit while I still could. You don't have much time here, but once I knew my corners were in place like a good mason, I started form fitting it and making sure. I'm using step stools because I'm only 5'8" and the car is elevated a little bit on the Ranger quick jacks. Once I was comfortable with the positioning, I pulled the backing off there. So once I had this in place, it was just a matter of working around and fitting everything fitting the edge all around underneath the stamping for the underside of the hood support. So there's a good shot of it. So in summary, this was a good project. I needed a win today after all I've been going through with the back bumper. So it was nice to get it done. The hood looks fantastic now. Now I've got to detail the rest of the underhood to make it look as good as the foam does. But at least every time I open the hood now, it doesn't make the top of the engine dusty. So that's the latest and greatest. As soon as I get the back bumper off, I'll put that video together. I envision that taking me another day. It's just been fighting me the whole way. So if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button. If you haven't done so already, I encourage you to subscribe. We're fast approaching 1,500 subscribers. We are a small but growing channel, and I appreciate everyone who subscribes, as that helps my algorithm and just helps it grow from there. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching this video. Please press the like and subscribe button, comment below, and be sure to check out our other videos on this subject, as well as all of the great content on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, you can call me at the number listed below, or be sure to check out our main website, guyswithrides.com.